All right, so GIMP 3.0 is almost here, and at this stage it's still in development. And as I record this tutorial, version 2.99.4 is available for download. To do so, check out gimp.org and you'll see the beta version right here. Now, keep in mind that this is a beta version and it's not a stable version. In other words, don't use it for any important projects because it could crash and you might end up losing everything. Also, the current beta version is only available for Windows and Linux users. As always, a Mac version will follow later in the future. Now, I'd like to share my favorite 7 new features and tools coming in GIMP 3.0 and above. And I've saved my favorite for last, and it's going to take GIMP to a whole new level. In fact, this one new feature will be a game changer that will give Photoshop a run for its money. All right, so the first new feature coming to GIMP 3.0 is a brand new modern interface. All right, so let's take a look at the beta version interface. So as you can see, it's visually received a modern update with this version. Now in GIMP 2.10, the UI is a bit clunky or out of date. So the recent version revives a tired interface with a fresh and clean display. Icons and panels have received a new overhaul in higher resolutions or higher pixel density, which is going to better space out the different tools in the panels as well as text. And the highlighting is another nice added feature, and there's other updates as well. Now, although these updates are refreshing, the new UI still has a lot of work to be done. Currently, there are no themes available in the beta version, and the default colors are based on your operating system. So this is the Windows version, and as you can see, we have a horrendous light blue highlight color, and it's awful if you ask me. Anyways, at this point, there are no themes for the current beta version. And the reason being, the code for the overall program has been redone from scratch. This makes any previous themes unusable. So until third-party developers create new themes, you'll be stuck with your operating system color scheme. So hopefully this is fixed before GIMP 3.0 is released. New feature number 2, multiple layer selections. Yes, you heard that right. This is one of those new features that make you wonder what took so long. No worries, selecting multiple layers is now available in the beta version and GIMP 3.0 when it comes out. So this is a welcome addition that will make your editing workflow that much easier. So here's a project that I worked on recently in GIMP 2.10, and we have multiple layers. And as you know, you can only select one layer at a time, but in the beta version, if you hold down your control key, it allows you to select multiple layers at a time. How cool is that? I love it, and I bet you will too. All right, feature number 3, color space enhancements. Now, in older versions of GIMP, it included management of color spaces, but it wasn't fluid. At times, you might find yourself in one color space only to realize you're in a different one upon final results. This will be resolved in this future release. Number 4, speed performance improvements. So according to the GIMP developers, a new caching system has been utilized to improve the overall performance of GIMP. So this is going to include faster startup times, and tools will render quicker than before. So for example, using the foreground select tool can be frustratingly slow in 2.10 and older. With the beta version, I've seen vastly improved times. New feature number 5, extensions. All right, so extensions are going to allow you to discover an assortment of tools to help you achieve your creative vision. This will include plugins created by third-party developers to extend the functionality of GIMP, as well as brushes and other types of resources to help you achieve your artistic vision. This will make it easier to discover a new tool versus randomly searching Google, since everything will be centrally located. That is going to be an awesome new feature awaiting us in GIMP 3.0. Wouldn't you agree? New feature number 6, Wacom Tablet Plug and Play. So using a Wacom tablet in GIMP 2.10 is a bit of a pain. So for example, let's say you forget to plug in your Wacom tablet before starting GIMP. Well, you're going to need to restart GIMP for the software to recognize your Wacom tablet. So in 2.99.4, or the beta version, the developers have introduced a plug-and-play feature to alleviate the need for restarting GIMP. Yay, developers! New feature number 7. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the feature I've been waiting for my entire life. Well, maybe not that long, but at least for the last 7 years since I started using GIMP. So let's say you want to transition from Photoshop to GIMP, but you've been reluctant due to this missing tool. In that case, you'll be happy to know it's coming soon. So what is this fantastic new tool? Drum roll please. Adjustment layers. Yes, you heard that right. So what is an adjustment layer? Well, for those of you not familiar with these types of layers, we're going to take a quick look in Photoshop so I can demonstrate what they are so you can see what you're missing. But first, let's go over what an adjustment layer is. It's a form of editing non-destructively. In other words, you can edit a layer without physically altering the pixels of it. Adjustment layers are similar to layer masks in that regard. So let's say you want to enhance the layer's saturation. You can do that with the hue saturation tool in GIMP. So let's take a look at how we do that right now. So I'm going to go up to Colors and select Hue Saturation. And as you know, you can change the color with hue, you can change the brightness with lightness, and you can adjust the saturation with the saturation slider. And let's say we bump this all the way up to right around here, and we click OK, but we don't realize we went that far. And then I continue working on my image, and I realize the saturation has been overdone. Unfortunately, I can't go back and change that saturation level without undoing everything I've done, as long as I have my history settings set to a point where I can go back that far in time. If not, it's even worse, because I end up having to redo the entire project if I did the hue saturation first, and another, let's say, 20 types of edit adjustments after that. So even though we may work non-destructively by creating a new image layer, we still don't have the flexibility of going back and adjusting the saturation at a later time. Now let's compare that to Photoshop. So I want to make an adjustment to the saturation of the colors of this image layer as well. So now I'm going to go up to Layer and select New Adjustment Layer. And right here we have an option, just like in GIMP, Hue Saturation. And the first thing you're going to notice is right here in this new layer dialog box, it's asking for a name for this new layer. So there's your clue right there. The adjustment layer, once I click OK, becomes a layer by itself. Now with the properties box here, I can make the same adjustments as I did in GIMP. I can adjust the hue, the lightness, and increase the saturation. And if I go too far, let's say I go to another image layer here and I do 10 edits on it. Now, if I want to make adjustments to that hue saturation edit that I did, all I have to do is double click on this icon here to get this property box back, and I can adjust the saturation accordingly because it's not physically altering the pixels of that layer below it. How cool is that? So that is the magic of adjustment layers, and it's going to drastically change how you edit and speed up the process of editing because you won't have to worry about going back and restarting from scratch. And now for some bad news. Unfortunately, the adjustment layer tool will not be released in GIMP 3.0. It's not even available in the beta version as of this tutorial. However, it is slated to be released in GIMP 3.2, and I know this based on GIMP's roadmap for future versions. And right here we have GIMP 2.10, and we can see all the features but one are in green. That means everything is pretty much done in GIMP 2.10. And GIMP 3.0, which you'll see once you scroll down, has all the new features listed here, and they are a work in progress. Under that, we have GIMP 3.2 with 2 new features, one being the adjustment layers, which is in red, hasn't even been started yet, and we also have a layer effects feature coming in GIMP 3.2 as well, and as you can see, it hasn't been started. So that would be another cool tool to have. So the question then is, when will GIMP 3.0 be officially released as a stable version? Well, my crystal ball says that 3.0 will be released in, wait for it, well, nobody really knows, not even the developers. So since GIMP is a free open source program, the developers rely on the community at large. So without donations of time and money, GIMP wouldn't be what it is today. And what it will be tomorrow is still reliant on the support of others. So if you'd like to donate money, or if you're a coder and wish to donate your time, check out the links in the description below to help GIMP 3.0 become a reality sooner rather than later. Now, don't forget, we have one more YouTube live stream where I'll answer your questions about the past week's GIMP tutorials. So thanks for listening and have an awesome day.